Did you know that just a couple of small tweaks to your chair pose can totally change what it does for your body? Today, I'm sharing 3 simple variations with healthy aging specifically in mind. One variation to help strengthen your back and support your posture, one to help boost your balance, and one to strengthen your knees and keep them pain-free. So let's walk through each one together. We'll start with the version that will help us improve our posture. So you can begin with your feet just a little apart. I like to say pelvis distance or a little smaller than hip distance, but whatever's comfortable for you where you feel stable. And then sit your hips down and back like you're sitting back into a chair. Now, if your knees are way past your ankles, see if you can shift your hips back a little further, maybe hinge down a little more, but we're keeping our spine nice and long. Now, a traditional or a more traditional chair pose looks something like this with the arms up. But what I have noticed in my yoga classes is that this either leads to a lot of flexion in the spine if my students have tight shoulders, which a lot of them do, this rounding in the spine that's not great for our back, or it leads us to sticking our bottom out like this, which we want just a nice neutral pelvis here. So my favorite arm variation in chair is to open my arms out into T's, into strong T's. Now, once you have that, we're going to press them back a little further back behind us, just a little bit to where we feel a squeeze of the shoulder blades, like they're trying to move together, like they're trying to pinch together. And this will activate some really important muscles in our mid upper back, get them to turn on a little bit and support our posture. Think of thumbs going up or even a little bit back to keep the shoulders nice and open and external rotation. Good, and you can see how it's almost impossible to round here. We have a nice, strong back and a long spine. Okay, and while you're here, just check in with your lower body. Make sure you are grounding actively through your feet, really pressing through especially the heels. So digging through those heels and trying to stretch the mat out between your feet. And that will help activate our glutes a little bit. Take another couple of breaths here in this position. Everything is strong and active. Reaching out through your fingertips. Take one more breath in. And then a breath out to stand up and straighten your legs. Give your legs a little break. Okay, now moving on to variation number 2. This one is all about balance. So if you aren't standing near a wall or something supportive, maybe grab a chair so you can really challenge your balance safely, okay? And if you do have a chair or a wall in front of you, you can just reach your arms out and touch that support. Otherwise, maybe keep your hands into heart center here. Keep everything in. Sit down and back into your chair. Now for this version, it's even more important that we shift our weight back. We're going to lift one leg up, still sitting low. But the thing is about it that if we are too shifted forward like this, it's going to put a lot of pressure on our knees, and that doesn't feel good, and it doesn't necessarily get the benefits of the pose. We want to strengthen all the muscles around the pelvis and the hips that help stabilize us. So we're going to sit down and back, sit even a little further back than you think, maybe even pick up the ball of each. Make sure you're rooting through your heels. Okay, and then simply shift your weight over to the right foot, or whichever foot you want to start with. Really dig through that heel, and then lighten up the left heel. Okay, so you can even leave that toe down to practice here. Practice getting all the weight in this leg, and then if you feel steady, draw the knee closer up towards your chest. Now, if you think that we've shifted forward a little bit, see if you can sit further back and down and breathe. If you feel this knee collapsing in, the standing leg knee, can you open it out just a little bit? Keep that knee tracking out past your toes. Woo! And if you are really digging into that heel, you are going to feel your hips and glutes say hello. Let's go ahead and put that foot down and go right to the other side. So shift your weight over to the other foot, really actively pressing through the heel, always breathing, and then lighten up the other heel. Get your stability here first. Make sure you're really shift it back, and then if you like, you can draw the knee up towards you without losing that depth. Now, a little bonus here, if you want to add on variation 1 to this, you can. Pressing those arms back, squeezing your shoulder blades, and breathing. And then if your arms are out, bring them back in. Let's go ahead and put that foot down. Maybe sit a little lower back into your heels, and then straighten your legs to come out of it. Take a full breath in and a big sigh of release. Okay, how do you feel? Shake it out if it needs shaking. And then let's move on to our third variation. Now, this one is all about strengthening the muscles that support your knees, especially the quadriceps. It's also a great variation for those of us who have sensitive knees and maybe don't like the pressure. Like if these other 2 variations of chair pose didn't feel good on your knees, then give this one a try. It puts the knee joint in a different angle. It's a little more supportive for the joint, and you still get all the benefits. So let's give this a try. Okay, I had to move some things around a little bit. I want you to find a blank, empty wall, if you can, and then step up with your back against it. Walk your feet, I would say a couple of feet away from the wall, and you can adjust that in a minute if you need to. And the feet are about hip distance apart. Rest your palms on your thighs and then simply slide down the wall, keeping your back on the wall. This is where you can check in. Maybe you just start a couple of inches down the wall and see how that feels. Okay, there's a lot of things we can do here. This is fantastic. You can come down a little lower if you like, but I'd like you to hold this for a bit. Let's say 8 to 10 rounds of breath, or work up to that if you can. Check in that your knees aren't going way past your ankles, so if they are, your feet might be too close into the wall. You can walk them further out. Make sure you're not going to slip. Okay, now find your depth. You can even feel these muscles turn on under your hands and breathe. Something we can do to add a little extra quad engagement, which is always a good thing. Root through the balls of your feet. So shift that weight forward a little bit and really try to stretch your feet away from the wall without actually moving them. Okay, and feel what happens. Feel any shifts and breathe. Now, if you want a little bonus benefit in this posture, you can work on your posture. So take your arms up into 90-degree angles. I'm a little close to the wall there. And see if you can touch the back of your shoulders, the back of your arms to the wall, and the back of your head without having to do this with the chin up. Okay, if you can't, that's totally fine. It's just something that we're working on. This is going to help open up the whole front of the body that gets really tight. Okay, I think we should come out of it. What do you think? Let's start to slowly slide back up. Never go too deep that you can't get back up easily. Give a little kick to your bottom here to bring some circulation back through your lower body. And then just check in and notice how your body feels. Which of those variations that you think might have been the most beneficial for you and what you need at this time. And actually, I would love to hear that. If you wouldn't mind dropping it down in a comment, which of these variations do you think you need the most of right now? Do you think is most beneficial for your body where you are right now? Again, that was one variation for posture, one variation for balance, and one variation for knee stability and strength. Now, in my next video, I'll share 3 essential daily movement habits that I believe everybody should be doing after the age of 50. I'll walk you through each one step by step and explain why each one is important, why it matters. Okay, so you can just click that link that's up on the screen, and I will see you next time. Have a beautiful day.